Hello world, Bettina Carey here, and I'm broadcasting live from Seattle, Washington on It's a Small World After All. We're all in this together, and I am here today with one of my favorite people. As you may know, I'm always about finding the silver lining in the cloud and making lemonade out of lemons and also seeing the rainbow, not the rain. So I'm here today with my favorite sister, a soul sister, Tamra Fleming, who's not just a soul sister, but she's a friend, she's a colleague, she's also been a client. I've been a client of hers for many years, I think dating back to about 2001, if I'm not mistaken. So we're here to talk to women about getting what's close to their heart, closer to the money. And we've both had some really great experiences of late related to money. And so I want to open up and have Tamra share a little bit about what's been going on in her life. And then we'll have a little conversation and a dialogue, and maybe it'll inspire you to go a little further with your dreams to run, start, and own a business. Tamra, welcome.
Yeah,
it's
hi.
To you. Thank you so much for playing with me.
I know, right? It's so fun. We've had a good time together navigating this time as women entrepreneurs and taking opportunities and pivoting and making our dreams come true. So I'm glad to have this conversation to share, because I think everyone needs to hear right now to be brave and be courageous and do things that you may not have planned on doing or ever thought about doing before to make your business soar. So that's, when you and I talk a lot, and so what we're talking about, right, is the opportunities for additional funding. And I just want to say this, I belong to a mastermind group as well. And in the mastermind group, they made it a very serious commitment to go after all of the funding that would be available to entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Some people in my group have gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars in this experience to be able to launch a product or take their work out in the world. And this is a group of transformational people, transformational leaders, meaning we are in the world to make good change in the world. And so those of us who may be under-resourced or just not have access to the startup funding that we need to be able to get our work, our heart-centered work out into the world and make these changes, there's a belief set that goes along in this industry of those kinds of people that holds them back from taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there right now. And so, in our mastermind, when that started, we started meeting weekly to be able to talk about what opportunities were out there, what we were doing, what we had applied for additional funding, what monies we would have access to. And at first, I have to be honest, I was like, oh, I don't know, do I deserve it? Or is it something that I should be taking advantage of? And what you and I have talked about, we can talk about this more, is that whole entire belief that needs to be busted wide open and overcome right now, because there is money and funding out there that will help you launch a product or get your business off the ground if you've been having difficulty doing that. So I was lagging behind in what I was doing, and then, but I was applying for things. And then I got in a conversation with you, and it really lit a fire under my butt. And I basically was like, yeah, that's it. And it kind of brought everything together for me, my mastermind and the conversation with you. And then I went out and I started watching more of the stuff that I had applied for, tracking it, applying for other things, looking for other opportunities that felt right to my heart. And, so far I'm 26,000 up in funding that is helping me do something which I wasn't able to take the leap to do, which was to hire a team to help me do my work. So it's magic. It's absolutely magic. And I just love what you're representing and standing for. And I just hope that there are women out there that are listening to us right now that are going, oh, well, maybe I should do that. Right?
Yeah. And so I probably was akin to someone who's rattling a cage, or somebody who's just going to help put a fire in your belly to get interested. So the first step that you said you had was that you were part of this mastermind group. They brought you information, you perused the information, but you didn't take the inspired action 100%. You weren't 100% ready, maybe you weren't 100% in to do you believe that there was something underneath, an underpinning, a psychological underpinning about yourself as either a woman or as just a business owner who had hit like all businesses go up and down, and you were on a little bit of a downward curve, but I could see you moving upwards, and this will probably just spur you on your way, which is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what do you think was the underpinnings?
Yeah, I think, and I've talked to other women, and other women in the conversations, I've realized what kind of the theme is that we're playing out here, and the shadow that we're looking to get over, which is I don't deserve it. It's not right for me to ask. It's not money for me to go access, which is just bizarre, right? It's probably not going to be available to me. These are all the beliefs. Oh, I'll do it next week, or oh my God, I didn't do it. Now I feel really bad about myself, and now I'm going to go hide in a hole.
Right.
There's all kinds of
fear of missing out. Right?
Fear of missing out. And one of the things that happened when you and I talked, especially now, my mastermind is a very masculine group, so it's men, and they're going after this, and this is global, worldwide mastermind. And I was watching that, and I was like, well, I don't know what I would be. I was already trying to figure out what I would be accepted or not accepted for. Rather than just applying and letting go and seeing what happens, right? Which is basically what I did. And when I got the notification that there was a loan coming in, so, some of these loans, for instance, the EIDL loan is 3.75% paid back over 30 years, not payable beginning payments until 12 months from now.
Right.
Holy cow. That's not charity. That is a loan you're taking out. That is something that you can use as leverage in your business. And when I felt that in my belly and saw that money hit my bank account, I went, okay, where is there more money? Where is there more opportunities like this that feel really right to me?
Right. And what you're going to turn around and do with the money, of course, is to put it back into the world, right?
Society.
So one, you deserve it. Two, you would never have qualified for it if you hadn't had something on the books.
Right.
And that they believe that you have an ability to pay it back.
Right.
But the timing of this is actually on the heels of COVID rearing its ugly head. But it's also timed when you were poised, you were ready for the opportunity to be funded, and you have a plan in place. And so everything that you're going to be doing is going to eventually create flow elsewhere. So if you're a woman who believes that somebody else could deserves the money more, and that means they deserve unemployment more, they deserve EIDL more, they deserve PUA therefore more, they deserve PPP. These are all acronyms which we will define in the chat. All of that money is meant to help small women business owners, minority women business owners, any kind of business, to tell you the truth. I mean, this is defined by our government. What is a small business? So if you've written yourself out of the equation, or you maybe have missed the opportunity because both the PPP and the EIDL are closed, the PPP's open, I'm sorry, the EIDL, I believe, is still open.
I think EIDL is only for agricultural
right now.
But again, this is the landscape of this is going to continue to change. So you just have to stay.
And it's likely to reopen. Today there's at least 100 billion still left to be dispersed out of the second pot of money that the government issued. So at the end of the day, why we're having this conversation is to motivate women in particular, men too, but women in particular, to make the application. The worst that can be told to you is no. If you're told no, you're more than likely, if you're running a business, a small business, you more than likely qualify for unemployment. So you need to follow through with each state's has a different unemployment requirement. And, but at least apply, follow through the process. It could be just what you need to take your dreams to that next level. And then there's new money that's coming. The chambers are coming up with projects for money and grants. The commerce departments are coming up with money. The counties are coming up with money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not ready and willing and able to accept all of the duties afforded you, then make yourself ready. So this is why I'm talking to Tamra about the subject, because she's been helping not only myself, but other businesses to make themselves ready to achieve their big dreams. I have been a part of Tamra's coaching off and on since about 2001. And I entered into her One Big Thing program last year, which actually technically already ended, but then I joined everything in between, because you've had a lot of these 5-day challenges and monthly challenges and 1-day challenges. And we've managed to move me into a level where whatever I was cluttering my life, whatever I wasn't functioning properly, has all been excavated and moved out of my life. So I am ready, willing, and able. And I hope that I am encouraging women to be ready and able and willing. And I would love to take a call from any woman out there, and even the men who would call me at 206-349-4297, because I am here to help. No charge whatsoever. I will spend upwards of an hour and a half with any person who calls me to get them dialed in on what they need to do to succeed in this process. Yep. If women are not coming to that table, we will lose again, and I will not have a part of that. I will continue to make phone calls, and for the business owners that I know that have come to the table, all of them have been able to successfully either be, achieve unemployment status where they can report their earnings that they have for their business, where they might have qualified for the PUA as part of that package. They might have qualified for the PPP or the EIDL loans. And these things are so, so important. If you have been on the fence, if you've been worried about what your credit score is, you've been worried about whether you would or wouldn't qualify for, stop worrying. Start applying. Start contacting myself, Tamra. There's other women in the women's empowerment marketplace that are also benefiting from this knowledge and experience. So I think you had a couple of examples you might share of people that you specifically talked to without revealing their identity. Yep. What were some of the issues that people directly came up with?
Yeah, it was interesting because, the question is, have you applied for any of the available funding for your business? No. Why not? And then the excuses start to roll, and the excuses are everything from, like I said earlier, I didn't think I deserved it. I don't know if I will qualify. Well, my business probably didn't make enough money. Just on and on and on. And these are all manufactured stories in your head, because let me tell you, unless you're on the other end approving this stuff, you don't know how they're making those decisions, right?
Right.
There were 2 that I did not get. And it's like, okay, I didn't get those. So I kept applying, and I'm applying for other things that are becoming new, that are available. And I, knowing you, we researched a little bit on women's grants, women business owners. There's grants, there's companies that are coming up with grants to help you. And it just depends on what your business is and what you're doing. But I just want to say this, that this is our time. This will probably never happen in our history, ever again. It's an opportunity that has been gifted to us to be able to leverage our heart-centered work and get it out in the world. And, that to me is worth any level. Take a day, take 2 days and apply, read things. It's not fun. It is not fun to read all that stuff. I hated it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to mark off my calendar. I'm going to make this my focus, because seriously, if I could go out and make a couple of $20,000 in a day, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you do it?
That's right.
I mean, you would
and
drop
often
everything.
Case these applications take only about 30 minutes to process. Yeah. And of course you have to do all of your background, get your ducks in a row, and make sure you've got your paperwork ready in order for it to be, to make the application. And there are banks all over the country who are willing to sit down with you and also go through the paperwork with you. And what's interesting is that when you have interest in buying a home, for example, generally you know what you might need, but even when you know what you might need, you could go to your bank and they could say, oh no, you need even more than that. You need this, that, and the other. Or they could say, oh, you're way past that. You're a slam dunk. Here's what I could loan you. So until you actually put yourself in the situation where you've been turned down umpteen times, you know, that would be hard, but I'd still do it. You know, until you've really put yourself in a yes, no position, you really are telling yourself no for all the wrong reasons. You know, I have a saying that I picked up along the way while in my travels that goes like this. It's like, never accept no from the person who's not in the position of saying yes. You're not a bank, so why are you saying no to yourself? Go ask a banker whether you're a no. Find out the real answer. And if the answer is no, find out whether or not you have certain steps, whether that's paying off credit card debt, whether that's having a higher credit score, whether that's developing a credible relationship with your bank, having a business banking account. Even basic things may not be occurring for businesses out there. So what this conversation is about is, you know, I'm trying to light a fire, as you put it, under your butt, but I put it under, you know, in your belly, to feel the fire within you that you have for your business, to get what's close to your heart, whether that's a goods, a product, or a service that you're providing, that you've been providing before COVID, that you would like to continue providing, and that you really could benefit from the support that's out there from these various grants and loans. So I invite you to kind of share some last thoughts, Tamra, because I know that you have a schedule to keep too. But
so I just wanted to say, you know, on the one side, I spoke with a woman and I asked her the question, have you applied for any of these? And all the justifications started to roll, and then she got really depressed and started crying. And it's like, okay, ladies,
don't get depressed and cry.
Let's go. Let's make this happen so that we can all join hands and lift the incredible work that women are doing in this world to make it a better place. We are on stage now.
Right. And this, as you say, probably will never happen in our lifetime again.
Right.
I don't know if you could have used $25,000 or $26,000 in your bank account, but I assume you did. And the fact that you've gotten it is really fantastic. I've also been the recipient of both the PPP and awaiting the funding on the EIDL, which should be tomorrow. So, you know, I too would have been on the fence maybe if it wasn't me. I'm the founder of Women in Small Biz Shows and Events. I cannot be on the fence if I'm going to be the leader of the pack. You know, I'm all about moving females forward. Hashtag Female Forward is our new hashtag as of yesterday for the Women's Empowerment Summit, which is on June the 10th. Tamra's going to be a speaker there. I don't know if you want to give a little insight in terms of what people might get out of you in terms of your bio, but I've loved you ever since I met you. I've worked with you in every capacity. I've read your book. I've taken your courses. You're the bee's knees as far as I'm concerned when it comes to coaching. And so maybe you close a little bit with what you have to offer in the moment.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, at the summit, I'm going to be talking about the power that you have in your space and how your space either clogs your flow or releases your flow, because it matters. What surrounds you is a mirror for how you're thinking and believing in yourself. And there are things that you can do in your space to free up flow and to empower yourself. And that's what I'll be talking about. So,
yes, wonderful. And I will be talking about getting what's close to your heart, closer to the money. This is just a snippet of the conversation that we will be having. And so if you haven't joined us on the Women's Empowerment Summit, go to the women'sempowermentsummit.com or women'sempowermentmarketplace.com. You can also text us at 555-888, the word women. You're watching It's a Small World After All. We're all in this together. Thank you, Tamra, for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all at the summit. Bye for now.
Bye for now.